Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
Hello there and welcome. Welcome, Gary.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Glad to have you here. We've got a Facebook question today.
All
We're
right.
going to pop it up while we read it. Here we go. Gary, I have carpal tunnel syndrome from my work as a mechanic at a car dealership. Although I didn't have a specific accident that injured me, will workers' comp still cover me?
The answer is maybe.
Maybe.
Right?
Okay.
Isn't that
That's
always?
interesting. Yeah.
That's kind of always the answer. But if you've had a repetitive activity that you do, those certainly do give rise to
Yeah.
work-related injuries. And you know, we've all heard of those. The carpal tunnel issue is a pretty common. Although I don't hear about it quite as much as I used to, but there's lots of things we do repetitively that take its time, over time takes its toll.
Right.
But so there's usually a point though where it gets to where you just can't do it anymore, you know, and that's the date you want to make sure you start telling somebody.
Yeah.
And I would do it before then. If you're starting to have trouble or you notice a problem, you know, it's time to start telling somebody and maybe get it looked at early before it gets too bad and maybe you don't miss any time from work.
Right. Absolutely.
Because, you know, everybody's worried about missing time from work
They
or
are.
being one of those people that, you know, complains about things, and you know, it's always looked askew at. I'm sorry to say, but you need to get it fixed. And anyway, early
Certainly.
ounce of prevention's worth a pound of cure sometimes.
It sure is. It sure is. And I guess if you already know that it has this name, then maybe you already have seen a doctor. So definitely get that.
Right, and I see
to
that
your
a
employer,
lot where
right?
people go to the doctor and are treating for something that is work-related. They
Yeah.
just don't tell their employer.
They need to.
And you know, if it's going to linger and be a real problem, you've got to tell them because there are certain time limitations, and frankly, they'll fight you about it. You know, so you need to let somebody know. Now, so a lot of times you don't need a lawyer, though. You don't have to get a lawyer
Okay.
involved. It might be a claim, so to speak, but it's not necessarily a litigious, you know,
Right.
controversial thing. You're entitled to your medical bills being paid. Just get seen about it. And if you start missing time from work, you're entitled to your total temporary disability calculated either in Alabama or Georgia by a formula. So, but you know, I used to think, well, if you're doing all that, do you need a lawyer? You know, it doesn't hurt to talk to a lawyer. It's always available to you to call and find out. Sometimes
Okay.
we just lay in the weeds, like I've said before. And then when things go off the rails later, we're there and able to
help.
deal with the thing and help.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
don't ignore these things.
Don't.
Report them. Document when you do report. Send a text. Send an email. Do
Yep.
something that you can go back to.
Yeah, very good, very good. Thank you for the questions. Please keep them coming. Facebook, email, we'll take them all, and maybe Gary can answer them here. Thank you so
Be
much
happy
for
to.
joining us again, Gary. We'll see you on the very next Legal Break.